an example of how a very ancient folkway can be incorporated into our culture without us even realizing it, and is provided by discussing Amanita muscaria. If you go to the Encyclopedia Britannica and you look up Santa Claus, they'll tell you that it has to do with St. Nicholas, and it got started in the 11th century. But when you look at the Santa Claus story, it's a perfect mythologium to analyze from this point of view, because look what's going on with Santa Claus. First of all, Santa Claus's colors are red and white, the colors of the Amanita muscaria, for sure. Santa Claus lives at the North Pole. What does this mean? It means that Santa Claus lives at the axis mundi, where Yggdrasil, the magic world ash of Welsh mythology, has taken root. Santa Claus flies. This is what shamans do. Santa Claus is the master of the reindeer, the animal most associated with the Amanita muscaria. Santa Claus is aided in his work by troops of elves. And what is the work of Santa Claus? To build toys for children. Remember the DMT things saying, look at this, look at this. Well, those were off-duty elves, clearly. So here are all the motifs. And I believe that for children in our culture, that all the Christer stuff is not what Christmas is about. Christmas is about standing in front of the tree on Christmas morning with the gifts arrayed and the twinkling lights on. Well, that tree is the tree that the Amanita muscaria forms its symbiotic relationship to. It's always spruce or pine that it has a mycorrhizal relationship to. So the number of motifs relating Santa Claus to a cult of Amanita muscaria, there's almost nothing but relational motifs there. And yet if you suggest this to people, they just back away in horror, you know. Well, I remember someone came to a talk of mine, and they talked about how in New Mexico in the early 60s there were a series of rainy years, and the Amanita came out, and this guy said he took it and fell into a trance, and when he awoke, it was like a Jack and the Beanstalk situation. There was a tree that went to the moon, as far as he could tell. And as he lay there, unable to move, but gazing at this tree which went to heaven, several tens of thousands, according to him, of elves appeared on the scene, journeying across the plain. And when they got to this tree, there was a big powwow, and they wanted to climb the tree, but then some voices were raised among their number saying, you can't climb the world tree wearing leather. And so as he watched, hundreds of elves stripped off their little leather jerkins and their little pointed shoes and their little caps, and were throwing them in big piles and climbing up the tree with their little rear ends hanging out of the tree like double Christmas tree ornaments. You know, was it enlightening? What can you say about an experience like that?